Okay, let's get started with our SmartConnect for Dynamics GP webinar today. My name is Jessica Green with E1 Solutions, and I am looking forward to providing you an overview and giving you some examples of how SmartConnect can help you automate some different processes internally. So SmartConnect was created by E1 Solutions. It is a no-code solution to integration. People are using it for migrations, integrations, automations. We had such a high demand for people using or needing a solution that they didn't need a developer for. Integration is incredibly hard and complex, and that's why people look for tools like SmartConnect to help make that process easier. So I'm going to show you today what that looks like. Here's our agenda for today. We'll go through a couple slides, but then I'm going to get into the demo right away. We'll set up a scenario, show you some integration, and then show you the SmartConnect tool. Here's an image that gives you a really great summary of what SmartConnect does. SmartConnect's a very unique, powerful tool that allows you to take data from many data sources to many destinations and apply a schedule or a condition to that integration without writing any code. So let's start at the top and look at our data sources. This might be GP, this might be an ODBC connection, Excel, text file. One that we are seeing today is our third-party web services, where you can connect with these different web service applications in the cloud and have access to that data. So once we have determined our data source, we go down to our destination. Again, this might be GP, this might be your CRM. A more common one would be a direct custom SQL Server application, or maybe Excel, a text file. Another big one we are seeing is our cloud-based web services to send data to these applications. You can really draw an arrow from your data sources to your destinations. Any of your data sources could be your destination, and any of your destinations can be your data source. Now, where most of the work gets done and where SmartConnect adds a ton of value are in these two middle sections. This allows you to set when you want the integration to run, how you want it to run, and any additional features, alerts, or trackings you want on the maps. So first, we are determining when we want it to run. We have the ability to do real time. We can do scheduled. We can track changes on data, or we can leave it manual if someone wants to review some data before they upload it to their destination. So now on the transformation side, we're able to go ahead and manipulate that data as it's being passed through SmartConnect. There's going to be very few instances where your data source matches up exactly with your destination. You're almost always going to have to transform that data in some manner. This is what the transformation allows us to do. We can do scripting in there. We can use translation tables. We can go ahead and calculate dates based off the data we have coming in. So this section really allows us to take whatever data we receive from our data source and convert it as needed when passing it to our destination. So let's go ahead and begin our demo for today. If you would all go to demo.e1solutions.com and fill out the form, I'm going to go ahead and do the same right now. Again, you can pick general or VIP, you choose. What we are going to be doing is entering some sample data. What we're going to be doing is sending an invite for a E1 party. We are going to see this information show up in the demo today, so just keep that in mind. But we're using this as a starting point. People have web forms, people have websites that people go to that are ordering something or submitting a ticket. And what happens is someone needs to go in, grab that data, then manually key it into another system. So today we're going to be taking that third-party data. SmartConnect in the background is going to be kicking off an integration, creating a customer inside Dynamics GP. It's going to be creating an invoice. In addition to that, we are creating a contact in CRM and creating a marketing list inside CRM as well. All right, so let's go ahead and hop over, and I'm going to start in Dynamics GP. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull up our order. I'm going to pull up Sales Smart View and pull up our orders for today. And it looks like we got quite a few that came through. So just by entering that information on the website, SmartConnect kicked off a map that created invoices inside of GP. So let's go ahead and pick on one. Let's pick on Carrie. We're going to drill into her customer contact card here. As you can see in this invoice, it created a name. So let's add some more information today. Let's go ahead and give her an address. Avenue South, let's put her in Fargo, North Dakota with me. All right, so then what I'm going to do is go ahead and save this information. And then let's hop over to our CRM. So when we registered that information, it took it and created a customer card inside, or it created a customer and a company card inside of CRM as well. And it created this marketing list. So let's drill into this marketing list. All right, so now you can see our attendees here. Let's drill back into Carrie Bradshaw. All right, and as you can see, it created a contact card for Carrie. It brought over that VIP that you filled in on the website as well. She selected no to a VIP, and then it also created a company card. All right, so looking at her company card, it put her relationship type to customer. And now you can see in the bottom left-hand corner that address that we plugged in over in GP. It is now showing up here in CRM as well. So we didn't have to manually enter it anywhere except for GP, and it kicked off and got that information updated here in CRM. So let's do this. Let's add a phone number for Carrie here inside CRM. Let's go ahead and save that information. So now we've updated her phone number. We already entered an address. And now let's hop back over to GP. Pull up that same list. I'm going to go ahead and hit refresh. We'll drill back into Carrie's customer card. And you can see that address or that phone number that we added in CRM got updated here in GP as well. So we have a full information on her. We have our address now and our phone number. So in this scenario, this is just something I wanted to show you, is that somebody that may not have access to GP, but they have access to CRM. As a salesperson, I live in CRM. So I'm able to update my customer contact cards in CRM without having to go in and log into GP every time. And that comes in very handy. Another feature that I want to point out today is our add-in to Excel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to the Data tab, and I'm going to hit Refresh All. This is going to be pulling in all that live data from GP. In this example, we're pulling in those invoices, but this doesn't have to be invoices. Maybe you are working on inventory items. Maybe you want to update those items. Maybe it's payroll or project accounting. There's so many examples. So for today, this example that we're doing is we're just showing invoices, but keep in mind this could be anything. So let's update some of this information. So Carrie is being so kind. She's gonna pick up the bill for everybody for our awesome E1 party. And then let's clear these out for everybody else. Since Carrie's picking up the bill, let's give her a VIP. Let's make Donald Duck a VIP as well. So we've gone ahead and updated some information. So what I'm going to do is head up to the top to the E1 Solutions tab, and I'm going to hit Run Map. And what this is going to do is push these changes back into CRM and to GP. And it did give us a success. So let's go ahead and go back into our list for GP and refresh this information. And as you can see, all of these invoices have been updated. So some users live in Excel. They don't have access to CRM or GP. So not only does now somebody who doesn't have access to either system can update those systems. That's true integration between these systems. Not only did I create an invoice, I created a marketing list without having to manually enter anything. SmartConnect did all of that when you entered that information on the website. So this is just a scenario that I wanted to show you the integration that's possible. Again, keep in mind, the projects that you are currently working on and how SmartConnect can really help with those efficiencies. So now that we've looked at our full scenario, let's actually look at SmartConnect. So what we are seeing is all the maps that have already been created, and these have been organized into different groups. I'm going to pick the map that is based on our example that we used today. So when I double click on this map, it's going to bring us into our map setup window. So again, when I was in the PowerPoint, I talked about our data sources and our destination. It's the same here. We start with choosing our data source. So you can choose a bulk load data, you can base it on changes only, or you can run a real-time event. Today, we are doing a bulk data load. We're actually pulling in all of those records. And underneath our data source is going to be any of these. It might be GP, it might be a text file or XML file. In this case, we're using a multi-data source. So we're taking data from two different sources and combining them into one table essentially. But again, keep in mind this is, just in the scenario today, this is what we're looking at, but this could be anything. You have lots of options. Okay. So in our scenario today, we're actually pulling information from an ODBC connection and Dynamics GP. So if we hit modify, essentially this is what we're doing. We're throwing it into a table. It essentially becomes a virtual SQL table for us. So we can take tables from any source and join them in this area, and eliminates the need for staging table. Okay, so now that we have our data source selected, we need to go in and determine our destination. Today, we're looking at GP, but again, you have a bunch of options. We can even do a web service, XML file. I try not to get stuck on our scenario today. You have a ton of different options. So no matter what your data source or destination is the great thing about SmartConnect is you're going to have the same look and feel. Maybe you have CRM as your destination. You're still going to have the same window pop up, and you'll just have to populate the needed fields. And that's really why people love SmartConnect. They aren't dealing with something different every time they need to change a data source or destination. These windows are going to continue to look the same. All right, so we have determined our destination type is GP. Corresponding business logic it gives us is we now need to select the group that we're integrating with. Today we are looking at sales order processing, but again, this might be payroll, payables, human resources. There's different options. Then you need to choose your node type. In this scenario today, we looked at sales orders, but again, you can choose your different node types. All right, and now another nice feature is if you have more than one company, you are able to go ahead and choose your company. So where you can choose and what maps are associated with what company. And that's where you do that. All right, so let's jump into the actual mapping interface. This is where we tell our data to go into our destination. On the left-hand side of the screen, you will see all of our source columns. Depending on what we have selected in our setup as our source, we are going to get all our fields associated. On the right-hand side of the screen, we will see all of our destination columns that are available, again, depending on what destination we have selected. So on the left-hand side, this is where those translations come into play. If you look at type column, you notice we have a few different typed fields. So we have source column, which is coming directly from our source. We have GP column, which essentially is going to grab the next sequential number. And we have calculated fields. So let's go move up to the top and hit additional fields. This is where you're going to be able to choose those additional fields, whether you want calculated, translation, rolling columns. This is where you're going to see that. So if we dig into this calculation, we're seeing a little bit of scripting here, but what we have done is made a library of functions in the tool itself, which is going to be make working with these calculations and functions so much easier. So we've already put in some of that logic. All right, so now if we go back into, so from here, it's simple as dragging and dropping. You drag from your right hand to your left hand to your right hand side to create those integrations. You have the option from selecting the drop down box. We drag and dropped, and as easily as we added, we are able to delete those as well. So this is a very easy way to map fields together. SmartConnect is taking care of everything in the background. So in terms of being able to map out your integrations, it's not something you need coding or developer experience with. We really give you that interface and platform so you have the power to do that, and we make it very easy. So let's go ahead and go back and take a look at our options tab. This is where you're going to be able to specify if you're wanting to do your C# or VD.NET scripting. Excuse me, you can certainly specify that in here. Also, if you want to do any of those log events or debugging logs, you can set that right up here in that options tab. So now for the task tab, you can think of this as an extra processing step that takes place either before or after the success or failure of a map. If we take a look here at some of the different tasks, you can see we can copy, we can move, we can delete files, you can run your scripting or SQL commands right from this tab. So one we see quite often is you can have an email set up. So let's say you are managing those integrations, but oftentimes those integrations are running in the background. You have no idea if your integrations are successful or if you're receiving errors. So oftentimes people will attach an email saying, okay, this integration was successful. It'll shoot a group of people an email saying, yep, this was great, or something needs to be fixed, and you can be alerted when there are errors in your integration. So now if we go up, we do have a scheduler. You can run your whole integration on changes or a schedule. So some people are using SmartConnect to push data for month-end reporting. They want to run that integration just once at the end of the month. You have the options of doing daily, weekly, month. You can just run once. You can even set it to repeat when specified. You can have a start, and then to get the integration started, you just click the run button. So it has made it extremely easy to set that schedule, and you have the power of when you want that to run. So I hope that you've been able to think about a few different platforms or applications that you're using today and thinking about those efficiencies that you can create with SmartConnect. I do want to touch on a couple more things here. Nope, let's not save that. Let's go up into under these process arrow window. We can see the run number for, so let's pick up one of these maps. I mentioned errors and being able to process errors really easily. This is where we're going to be able to do that. So I can see what map was ran. I can pull up and I can see what failed. The really neat thing about this, right from within this screen, we are able to update that error and rerun that integration. Where this becomes really handy is if you get all your errors in one spot. So if you're running 10,000 records and 2 of them fail, we can quickly go in and we can make any of these changes and we can rerun that integration. You don't have to update and rerun all 10,000 records again. So this is where it becomes very helpful. We really put a lot of thought into error handling. This is just one example of how it makes it really easy. All right, so let's go back to our PowerPoint. All right, with SmartConnect, we do have mapping templates. We also have integration templates to other systems. So if you want to generate GP with CRM, or it could be anything else. We do have some starting points for those. We feel strongly that every company is unique. Those templates are made to get you 80% of the way. Then maybe from there you want to map some fields or configure something for what they need. Any of those templates can be imported into SmartConnect. There's an import-export wizard, so you can import those maps that are built, or if you have SmartConnect set up in your test environment and want to move those integrations over to your production, then you can walk through the wizard to export what you built and import them into your live environment. If you are, we do have services available. If you would like E1 to help with your project, we do have a services team. We work very closely with our partner channel, but work with the end customers as well. We're really here to be an extension of your team. We really focus on delivering the integrations. And then we do have unlimited support available as well. Here is pricing for our perpetual license of SmartConnect. What's included with that? You get that add-in for Excel. You get 4 instances of SmartConnect. You get all available connectors, access for unlimited users, and again, those templates. We also have training options. We have a self-paced training. We have online public training. We can also set up a private online training with your team. And we can also come to you and do some in-person training at your facility as well. And we have boot camps. All of our boot camps you can find at e1solutions.com under the events tab. So you can see a schedule and see if we are coming somewhere near you. All right. Here's my contact information. If you are working on an integration project right now, I would love to hear about it. Talk about how SmartConnect can help with that. Please do not hesitate to reach out. Would really enjoy an opportunity to get involved. I appreciate you taking the time today. I hope you learned a few things, and I hope you consider SmartConnect for your next GP integration.